We recently purchased a 2023 Tesla Model Y long range, equipped with a premium audio system, which includes a factory-installed 8-inch subwoofer in the rear quarter panel. We were really excited to try out this system because of all the hype around it, since it has 13 speakers and 2 amplifiers. Now the mids and high frequencies are impressive, and there's speculation that the system was either designed by Bang & Olufsen or by former employees of the company. Now Bang & Olufsen has created audio systems for brands like Ford, Audi, Bentley, and Lamborghini, which are clearly branded, but no such branding exists on the Tesla models, and there's no official confirmation of their involvement. While the overall sound quality is good, especially in the staging, the system falls short in delivering deep bass at the mid to high volume levels. The 8-inch woofer struggles to match the output of the mids and highs, and although it's nice to have a sub box tucked away in the quarter panel, that panel has a noticeable rattle when playing bass-heavy music. Now this led us to question whether the design accounted for deep bass frequencies. To address these shortcomings, our team at Breakers set out to develop an enhanced bass system compatible with both the Model Y and the Model 3. Our design criteria focused on taking up the least amount of space, a seamless appearance, compatible with both the 16 and the 12-volt systems, low power consumption, easy installation, and most importantly, excellent sound quality. Follow our journey as we reveal the solution we developed. Now the video is kind of long, so if you're not so interested on how we came up with the products that we picked, then skip directly to the demonstration because the demonstration does speak for itself. But if you are interested on how we put together audio systems at Breaker Stereo, stay with us. Now there are some Tesla packages out there. Sure, there are kits that utilize the factory 8-inch box, but replacing an 8-inch with another 8-inch isn't going to be enough bass for what we're looking for. Now there is a side-mounted 10-inch JL Self box, but that's $1,000 just for the box and the sub, and you still need an amp, and you can easily spend up to $1,500 for a system like that. Now there is another company that makes a kit with a side box for the 12-volt Teslas, but it's only a 10-inch. Plus, I kind of like the side storage compartments. So we came up with a kit that fits under the floorboard compartment and still gives you plenty of space to store your groceries, or you can put stuff on top of it without taking lots of room or using those side panels. Now we also created a beauty panel that goes over the box and keeps the minimalist look that Tesla owners love. Another benefit to our box versus the side mounted boxes is that you can easily remove the box and the panel since they're not bolted in like the side boxes. Our box and panel is press fitted nice and tight so it won't move around when you're driving. Also, you get a 12 instead of a 10. Time for a Breakers breakdown. Subject, woofer cone area. Now this is an important subject to discuss because the more cone area you have, the more air you'll be able to move, and the more air you'll be able to move, the more sound you will get. And in the case of a subwoofer, the more bass in your car. So an 8-inch woofer has about 32 square inches of cone area. A 10-inch has between 51 and 53, and a 12-inch between 78 and 80 square inches. Now when it comes to sound, normally you must double your cone area to get a 3 dB increase in sound, and FYI, normally you also can gain 3 dB by doubling your power. I say normally because there are many factors that can affect SPL, like speaker sensitivity, enclosure design, and even the type of vehicle. But increasing from an 8-inch to a 10-inch is about a 60% increase in cone area. So if all things are optimal for each woofer, going from an 8-inch to a 10-inch, you get about a 1.5 dB increase. And going from an 8-inch to a 12-inch is over 150% increase, and you could potentially get 3 to 4 more dB. With that knowledge, we decided to go with the 12-inch instead of the 10. And the components we chose are quality pieces that we've used before in the past and we know are solid. You're getting a $350, 450 watt RMS woofer that works better in a small box than a large one instead of a $60 subwoofer that the other guys put in that side box. I think most people would prefer a higher quality, better sounding subwoofer versus a $60 sub. We'll be offering 2 different packages, one at $869 and the other one at $999. And both these packages come complete with wiring and hardware. So there were all these things to consider before we move forward. And we always start with picking out our speakers first. And in this case, the subwoofer. So we'll take you through our thought process. We wanted to use as little space as possible without sacrificing sound. So we first started out building a box, and we chose to use the space underneath the floorboard for a couple reasons. Because we've used the space before in other vehicles, not only Teslas, and they sounded good. And number two, we didn't want to make a fiberglass box in the side panel because the cost is too high to do that. We wanted to keep the cost down on this package to make it a really good value. So once the box was made to fit our desired spot, we calculated our internal airspace, which was just a hair over 0.7 cubic feet. Not too small, not too big. And we wanted to go with the 12 so we can play those deep bass notes. So we have a couple options available for the 12-inch subwoofer that will work in small sealed enclosures. Okay, so the options that will work for this box are the Audio Mobile GTS 2112 or the Alpine S2-12D2. Now the Audio Mobile system again is $999 and the Alpine system is $130 less at $869. As far as the Audio Mobile GTS 2112, it's rated to handle 450 watts RMS, and the Alpine woofer is rated at 600 watts RMS. So a 500 watt RMS amp will work for either of those woofers. Our rule of thumb is plus or minus 15% of the speaker's RMS handling power. And I know that the 600 watt that the Alpine is rated is over that 15% threshold, but from experience, I know that a 500 watt amplifier works very well on an S-series woofer. And as far as the Audio Mobile is concerned, it's well within that 15% tolerance. And since more is better, this will be a better choice if you have the extra 130 bucks. So we're set on the sub, let's move on to the amplifier. Here are the requirements the app needs to check off for us to consider it. Number one, will it work with a 16 volt system as well as a 12 volt system? Number two, is it priced well? Subjective, but we're trying to stay within that $1,000 range for this full system. Will it not drastically cut into the vehicle's mileage range because it draws too much current? Is it small enough to install behind the rear quarter panel so we can hide it? And the last requirement, it needs to be at least 500 watts RMS. Okay, so let's run down the line. 16 volts. The newer Model Ys and 3s from 2023 and up come with the AMD chip and are 16 volts. If you're not sure if you have the AMD chip, you can access it from the car's menu. And if you have the AMD chip, then I believe it's safe to say that your vehicle is 16 volts. Now the base system we designed will work with either the 16 volt or the 12 volt systems. Because the amp we matched up will work up to 17 volts and of course it'll do 12 volts as well. Now no, not all car audio amplifiers will be able to operate at 16 volts. We did some research and so far there hasn't been a lot. There's a Mosconi Pico 1 18V, which is 750 watts and really small, but retails for 899 bucks. That's definitely outside the price range we're looking for. And Helix does have lines of amplifiers that will operate up to 16 volts and are priced okay, but not small enough to install behind the rear quarter panel like we wanted. So we found out that the Diamond Audio micro amplifiers will operate between 12 and 17 volts. And the amp we're looking at is only $319. So that checks the first box, 16 volts, and the second box, price. Now the third thing we needed to consider was power consumption. So amps that draw lots of current will cut into your electric vehicle's efficiency and drain your batteries quicker, resulting in less range and more trips to the charger if you don't have a home charger. Now I'm triggering your range anxiety, and this was a concern for me since this is my daily driver and I don't have a level 2 connector at my house yet. So draining my batteries and lessening my range are concerns for me. Now normally you can judge an amp's current draw based on the fuse it requires, but the best thing is to check the owner's manual to see what the amp draws when playing music. So this amp has a recommended fuse size of only 25, but it will be lessened when playing music. Now remember, music is dynamic, so you won't be drawing the max the amp can put out like you would if you were playing a test tone. So the Diamond Audio will draw less current than most, if not all, 500 watt RMS amplifiers out there. So check the box on that. Now during the filming of this video, we wanted to test to see how these aftermarket bass systems would affect the range. And we were surprised with the results. Now we started off with playing the system with the amplifier and the sub hooked up and played the stereo at about 3/4 volume for an hour and made note of what the range was. As you can see, it was at 134 miles at 4:37 p.m. And after that hour, it was at 132 miles at 5:39 p.m., a 2-mile difference. Now the next day we played the radio without the amp by removing its fuse and under the same conditions at that 3/4 volume for that same hour. And as you can see, it was at 116 miles at 10:21 a.m. And after the hour, we were at 114 miles Also a 2-mile difference. So nothing was changed. Now, although this is not the most accurate way to test, it's definitely safe to say it's going to be less than a mile per hour played at 3/4 volume. So we were really happy with those results because you're not losing much range, if any. And number 4, is this small enough? This amp is 9 inches by 4 inches by 2, so it fits perfectly under the factory sub box if you have the premium system. And if you don't have the premium system, you have plenty of room in that rear quarter panel. And the 5th box is 500 watts RMS, so check on that. So those are the reasons why we chose these. And although the brands don't match, sometimes they work better if they don't, because one manufacturer will make better amps versus speakers, and another company may make better speakers than they do amplifiers. And in car audio, rarely do we set up systems where everything matches. And some of the best systems we've sold and installed, we've used several brands. And any car audio guy with experience will attest to this. So we're gonna make an install video for the Model Y and 3. But for now, let's go ahead and take a listen to the system with both the Audio Mobile and the Alpine. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what this system looks like installed in the vehicle. Okay, so everything looks really clean here. You don't see anything. In the subfloor, you have the subwoofer. As you can see, you can still put stuff on top of it. We're gonna give you a grill as well. So if you got stuff and you need to put stuff back here, it's no problem. You know, it's not gonna damage anything. Put your groceries on there, you're all good to go. Now, like I said earlier, I do like these side panels. You know, you can stuff some stuff in there. So I like that partition, so if you got something that's fragile, you can put it in there and it's not gonna move around much. Okay, so you do have this front panel here, this beauty panel that we made that fits perfectly. And then this is the box itself, okay? Now, the box here, take a look. We've got some angles on it here. It fits nice and snug, okay? If you had it like this, it may move around a little bit, but since you have the panel that goes on top, what that's going to do is gonna put it right in place, and that box is not gonna move at all. So you're solid there. And it's really easy to get out. As you can see, we just pull that right there and you're good to go. All right, so that's the box. Now, again, we do have the Alpine option available. So let me show you what that looks like. Alpine, we're using the exact same box and the exact same panel. Now that fits in there nice and snug as well. Now we will give you the Alpine grill if you decide to go with that Alpine sub. Okay, so the amp's already installed, but I'm gonna show you the amp that we're going with. This is the Diamond Audio. This is the Micro Series. Okay, so as you can see, it's very small and it will fit underneath the factory subwoofer in the premium systems. Okay, so factory sub is about right here. This amp is going to go behind this panel right underneath that factory subwoofer. Okay, now another thing that I didn't talk about earlier is this amplifier does have high level inputs. Okay, now in the install video, we're going to show you exactly how to install this guy, but we're going to be using the high level inputs, okay, from that factory amplifier, which is actually located here, directly into this. So there's no need for a high level adapter because you have high level inputs already. Now, again, on the install video, we're going to tell you exactly how to set all that. Another thing that this amplifier does have, a remote control bass knob. Now, if you have the premium system, you do have the subwoofer level on the radio itself. You can choose not to run this and just use the subwoofer level on the radio. Now, if you do that, that will affect the 8-inch woofer as well. In my opinion, run the bass knob. I'll show you where we put it in here. Set the subwoofer level control at the radio so you're not overdriving the 8-inch, and then control the 12-inch subwoofer from this knob. And another thing is, if you're overdriving this subwoofer, this panel is the panel that rattles pretty bad. Okay, so let's take a listen to it. Now, I highly recommend you go grab a really good set of over-the-ear headphones for this portion of it if you're really considering getting one of these systems for your vehicle. We've tested it in the edit room, and using those over-the-ear headphones is the next best thing to actually sitting in the car with us. Okay, so we're gonna play 3 different songs from 3 different genres. And then what I'm gonna do is this, is the bass knob is installed right underneath the screen here, and I'll turn it all the way down, and that will eliminate the subwoofer that we put in so that you guys can listen to the way it sounds factory. And then what I'll do is I will slowly turn the bass knob up, and you guys can hear the difference with the sub that we installed. Okay, so we'll do that for a few songs with the Audio Mobile, and then we'll do the Audio Mobile versus the Alpine. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, one more thing. On the EQ, I'm gonna set the subwoofer at 3.5 and the bass at 3.5. If I go any higher, then the panel that surrounds that factory subwoofer will start to rattle. At this level, you're still getting a good amount of bass out of the factory subwoofer, and then we'll introduce the bass that we install by turning the knob. All right, let's check it out.
Me and my niggas tryna get it, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Hit that house, they tell me, is you with it, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Home invasion, what's persuasive? What's persuasive? What's persuasive? From 9 to 5, I know it's vacant, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Dreams of living life like rappers do. Like rappers do, like rappers. Back when condom rappers wasn't cool. They wasn't cool, they wasn't. I fucked Sherane and went to tell my bros. Tell my bros. Then Usher Rain and Let It Burn came on. That burn came on, that burn came on. I saw all that night I rhyming, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Park the cars and we start rhyming, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. The only thing we had to free our mind. Free our mind. Then freeze that verse when we see dollar signs. See dollar signs. You looking like an easy come up, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. A silver spoon, I know you come from, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. And that's a lifestyle that we never knew. We never knew. Go at a revenue for the revenue. It go Holly Berry or Hallelujah. Pick your poison, tell me what you're doing. Everybody go respect the shooter, but the one in front of the gun lives forever.
As you can see, there's a considerable amount of bass. When I start to turn that knob up, it gets much fuller. The 8-inch does fall flat when you start to turn it up, and it doesn't have the really deep bass notes that this song is meant to have. All right, let's change the song. We'll switch it up a little bit and we'll do a little bit of classic rock. Okay, so even on that rock song where it's not really meant to have deep bass, that bass is kicking, you can feel it, and there's a big difference in the way that it sounds with our subwoofer and without it. Let's move on to the next song. We'll try some country next.
You're a saint dancing around the fire that you're in, so you jump right in, ain't afraid to fall and you give it all. She got the best.
Much fuller with the aftermarket subwoofer in play. This song does have some deep bass and some punchy bass as well. So it's nice to hear the difference between it with it and without it. Okay, so on this song, I played it a little bit louder than those other songs, and it is really apparent that you do need more bass because the mids and highs will get very loud. As soon as I drop out that 12, then the bass is like almost not even there. So with the introduction of that 12, I'm able to, match the bass with the mids and highs, and you have a nice, good, complete sound. These speakers in this vehicle, they do sound pretty good. They do play pretty loud, but that 8-inch and that porta box in the back with not that much power really can't keep up with what's going on in the rest of the cab. That's why this bass package is perfect for this vehicle. Okay, so now let's compare the Audio Mobile versus the Alpine.
What's been on your mind? Are you thinking about running? 'Cause I'm sitting here losing mine, and there ain't nothing you can say to me right now to change the way I love you. But if it's up to you this time, tell me what it is you're thinking. Shoot me straight. Are we fixing to break?
separation. Blue pill in the fucking matrix. Red rose in the great pavement. Young black nigga trapped and he can't change it. Know he a genius, he just can't claim it. Cause they left him no platforms to explain it. He frustrated so he get faded. But deep down inside he know you can't fade him. How long should I stay dedicated? How long till opportunity meet preparation? I need some real nigga reparations. Or I run up in your bank just for recreation. Dedication, hard work, plus patience. To some more of my sacrifice, I'm giving wages. It's the remedy to separation. Tupac of my generation. Blue pill in the fucking matrix. Red rose in the great pavement. Young black nigga trapped and he can't change it. Know he a genius, he just can't claim it. Cause they left him no platforms to explain it. He frustrated so he get faded. But deep down inside he know you can't fade him. How long should I stay dedicated? How long till opportunity meet preparation? I need some real nigga reparations. Or I run up in your bank just for recreation. Dedication, hard work, plus patience. To some more of my sacrifice, I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication. Dedication.
All right, so here's what I'm hearing. With the Audio Mobile, the bass is a little smoother, more rounded out, a little boomier, and not quite as punchy. The Alpine is definitely punchy. You do get some deeper bass, of course, but between the two, I would go with the Audio Mobile. It's smoother and it plays a little bit deeper, but if you like punchier bass, then the Alpine could be the ticket, but to each their own, so it depends on what you're looking for, but both are great options. Okay, so if you're interested in either of these packages, we'll leave links in the description below, taking you directly to each product page. Now, we will be doing a full tutorial installation on this vehicle, also the Model 3, and we also have a Model S tutorial as well. So look out for those if you have those particular vehicles. And again, one more time, this base package does really make this complete. Now, if you have the premium system like this one, this is how it's going to sound. If you don't and you have the basic two-wheel drive, then this will make a huge difference in the way it sounds, because you don't have that 8-inch sub in the back. All you have are these, either the 6.5s or the 7s in the door that's providing your bass. Now, we'll do a tutorial on the basic system as well, so you can see what you need to do in order to wire it up to the basic system versus the premium system. So it's a little bit different when it comes to grabbing the signal, but don't worry, we're gonna take you step by step, show you exactly how all that is done. All right, that'll do it for this video. Again, if you're interested, links in the description below. We do have financing available. Simply add to cart, pick a financing option, get approved, and then we'll send your package out to you ASAP. Again, my name is Josh. I'm with Breaker Stereo and Performance. We hope you guys enjoyed this video and found some value here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.